In the introduction to the Vitruvian Man, you'll remember that the width of the figure is going to be exactly the same as the height of the figure. Leonardo showed this by creating a perfect square, fingertip to fingertip, that was the same size as the height from the top of the head to the feet. So when we create our figure on the notebook page, we're going to make that a 7.5 inch high figure and a 7.5 inch wide figure. Now, the tools you need for this project are a pencil, a ruler, your notebook, and possibly an extra eraser if you need it, or an eraser on your pencil. Your teacher will note that he wants you to start your figure a little bit down from the rings of your binder, not right up here, but a little bit down from there. And you're going to make a line and kind of eyeball so that the line is in the center of the page. You're going to make a line 7.5 inches long, and you're going to make a couple of marks on that line. You're going to make one at 1.5 inches, one at 3 inches, and one at 4 inches. You want to take your ruler and turn it so that you're at the 1.5 inch line, and you want to put that ruler at 3 3/4. 3 3/4 is exactly half of 7.5. And we're now going to create a line that goes across 7.5 inches long. This line represents the shoulder line of the figure, approximately right here. We're also going to make a mark on this line 1 inch in from this end, and we're going to make a mark 1 inch in from this end. That will be at the 6.5 inch mark here because it's a 7.5 inch long line. Simple mark right there. That line represents where the wrist is. That's about right here. Okay. So we should have a simple cross on the page with a mark at 1.5, 3, and 4. A line across that's 7.5 inches wide with a mark 1 inch in from each end. Now, when I draw, I like to actually be a little bit sketchy with my pencil. I draw a little bit at a time. So I'm going to make the head, and the head is a little bit less than 1.5. Remember, 1.5 is the distance to the shoulder line, which is below the chin here. We see that. So I make my figure, my head, kind of an egg shape, comes down to here. And I don't have to be perfect. I can come back and fix this later. Now remember, the first drawing you make is going to be a practice drawing. So it's okay if you make a few mistakes, right? And like that. Now, I like to quickly move ahead and show a very simple figure with a very simple set of clothing on. We're not drawing the figure nude like Leonardo did. Simple set of clothes, sweatshirt, pants, and simple shoes to show the basic figure. You as a student are free to create whatever kind of a drawing you want, and there are all different kinds of possibilities for this drawing. As we've noted in the introduction, I'm just going to show you a few again. Lots of different ways to clothe your figure, lots of different ways to do your circle, lots of different ways to create your adjectives, etc., etc. Those things are all up to you as we move forward from here. But remember, the first time we do this, it's a very quick, simple sketch. So I'm going to move ahead with that. I'm going to come here to do my arms. My sleeve is here. That's about where my wrist is. And I come back, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I come back. Now, the 4 inch mark represents the hips. So the belt is going to be a little bit above that. So I draw a simple belt in here. And the hips come down and all the way down to a simple pair of pants like this. This line is where the bottom of the foot is. Not where the bottom of your pants are, but where the bottom of your foot is. And notice the size of the shoe or the size of the foot. It's not a little tiny foot, it's a good sized foot. The same distance for a foot is the distance from the elbow to the tip of the fingers. So if you want to measure that on your own arm, you can. Now, when I do hands, hands are very difficult to draw well. They take practice and time. But again, one of the simple mistakes that many people make is to draw hands that are too small. If your hands are too small, your figure will not look like it's in proportion. So your hands have to be big enough to make the figure look like it's in proportion. So here's the simple figure with a shirt, pants, and shoes. When the time comes to do eyes and face and mouth and so forth, I'm going to make a simple line right in the middle of the head. That's where the eyes are. I'm going to make a simple reference to the nose here and the mouth, hopefully with a smile. And that's a simple practice sketch of the Vitruvian figure. And if you look through the examples that we've shown, you're going to see lots and lots of different kinds of ways for students to draw this. All those things are up to you. Remember, the simple part of this at the very beginning is to practice this sketch over and over again. I'm going to try to zoom in on this now so that you can see it a little bit closer. Hopefully it'll stay focused. I'm going to focus it if we need to. And you'll be able to see, you can fill this in however you want to with whatever kind of an effect you want. That's up to you.